Good morning, children. Today, let us start with lesson 7 Heidi Meets a Grandfather. Here, it is a story of a 6-year-old girl named Heidi who used to live with her aunt in a city. For some reason, her aunt had to leave the city, so she had left Heidi to her grandfather in a little house high up in the mountains. So, here we will read about Heidi how she has spent her first day with her grandfather. I want to see what you have inside the house, said Heidi. To whom does she told? She told to her old grandfather. The old man opened the door of the hut and Heidi stepped inside after him. She found herself in a good sized room. Means the room was very big enough. A table and a chair were the only furniture in that little house. In one corner stood the grandfather's bed and in other was the hearth with a large kettle hanging above it. There was a large door in one wall. This was the cupboard. So here in the first paragraph we learn how Heidi in her first day she entered her grandfather's house. It was a single room with a furniture, that is the only bed, then table and a chair and a hearth where her grandfather used to cook food, and a cupboard on one side of the wall. So let's see what happens next. Heidi looked carefully around the room and asked, "Where am I to sleep, grandfather?" "Wherever you like," he answered. Heidi began to explore all the nooks and corners to find out where it would be pleasantest to sleep. So Heidi, in order to make her comfortable to sleep at night, she began to find out the place where she should sleep. In the corner near her grandfather's bed, she saw a short ladder against the wall. She climbed up and found herself in the hay loft. There lay a large heap of fresh, sweet smelling hay, while through a round window in the wall she could see right down the valley. So, what is hay loft? A room directly under the roof for storing hay and straw. "I shall sleep up here, grandfather," she called down to him. "It's lovely up here. Will you bring me up a seat?" So Heidi found her place where? In the hayloft. She found herself comfortable. So she told her grandfather to bring up a bed sheet for her so that she could cover that hay and she should sleep comfortably. "All right," said the grandfather. He went into the cupboard and after rummaging about inside, he drew out a long, rough piece of cloth, which was all he had for a seat. Rummaging means he searched, he found out. He carried it up to the loft where he found Heidi had already made quite a nice bed by herself. She had put an extra heap of hay at one end for a pillow to keep below her head. It looked now as tidy and comfortable a bed as you could wish for. So the little girl, how she adjusted her to find her place in her grandfather's house and made a bed for her. "I wish it was night so that I might get inside it at once," said Heidi. So Heidi told that, "I hope it is night and she is going to sleep." "I think we might have something to eat first," said the grandfather. So the grandfather, understanding that since Heidi is a 6-year-old girl, might be hungry, so they decided to eat something. Heidi said, "Yes, I think so too," replied Heidi. "Let us go down then," said the old man. So as a result, both of them came downstairs to have something for the supper. Downstairs, he filled a bowl with milk and brought it to Heidi with a last slice of bread and a piece of golden cheese and told her to eat. Heidi lifted the bowl with both hands and drank till it was empty. Means her grandfather brought a slice of bread with butter, means cheese, and a bowl of milk. Though she was very hungry, she drank the whole milk. "Was the milk nice?" asked her grandfather. "I never drank anything so good before," answered Heidi. Means Heidi was so satisfied with the milk that she said she had never had like this milk ever before. Then you must have some more. Then the old man filled her bowl again. And so the time passed happily until at last the evening came and the goats returned from their pasture. And as soon she has finished her supper, the goats returned from their pasture. Pasture means a land covered with grass that sheep and goats eat. Heidi gently petted first one and then the other very nicely to the goats. So whom dissipated? The goats. So next see. And after supper, Heidi said good night to her grandfather and climbed up to her bed, where she was soon lying as sweetly and soundly asleep as any young princess on her bed of silk. So Heidi laid down with a bed of sheet and a pillow she has covered, and the window you can see where she could see the valley. The stars could be seen. She was lying comfortably like the little princess. So what lesson do we learn from this lesson? That how the little girl Heidi, she adjusted her life with her grandfather and made herself comfortable with him. Whatever her grandfather has given, she had eaten and slept very beautifully. She learned how to adjust from city life to village life. So let's see the new words. Good sized, big enough, hearth, floor of a fireplace. Hayloft, a room directly under the roof for storing hay and straw. Rummaging, searching hurriedly. Pasture, a land covered with grass that sheep and goats eat. So children, I hope you have understood. So from the lesson, Heidi meets her grandfather and you should also be adjustable in your life. Thank you.